Hey guys, welcome to EVA. This is a channel where we speak about all experienced people like entrepreneurs, CEOs, and founders, and we get to learn through their experiences. Today, our special guest is Arun SK sir, the CEO of Audi Coimbatore. Sir, would you tell us about yourself?
Thank you so much, Akshay, for this wonderful opportunity. I congratulate you also. It has to go to a great endeavors in your channel on your target. So I'm really so happy to meet you on this afternoon. I'm really admiring you as a personality. The main thing is like my aspiration is on to be a leader. Leader is always creating more leaders. So I want to share my knowledges and experiences to budding entrepreneurs, new startup companies, as well as college students, which is very, very key important, because every college student will have an aspiration and goals in their life. So I want to give them a kind of motivation, a kind of a guidelines, or a kind of an experiences, whatever I have gone through in my 25 years of career, which I would like to share to them, and I think definitely it is going to help them a lot.
Would you like to tell us your life stories?
My personal is like I born in a village. It's near Pollachi. My family, most of them are educated, and I studied started my schooling in Kamal Garden. Then my college is in Nehru Mahavidyalaya. I've done my PhD in microbiology. As a common person, I couldn't identify what was my desire and aspiration that time. So knowing yourself is very important for any student or any human. ஸோ நம்மளுக்கு என்ன தேவை, எதெல்லாம் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருக்குங்கிறத நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்க தெரியணும். ஸோ தட் இஸ் த கீ இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் ஃபேக்டர். எனக்கு ஆக்சுவலி ஸ்பீக்கிங் ஐ குடன்ட் நோ அந்த பர்டிகுலர் ஏஜ்ல என்னால் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ண முடியல. So my interest was traveling. I started working in Zydus Cadila, a pharmaceutical company for some time. And ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் ஸ்டேஜில் நான் என்ன ஃபீல் பண்ணேன்னா, ஆட்டோமொபைல் தான் என்னோட கோர் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட். ஏன்னா பைக் ரேசிங் தான் ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். அந்த மாடிஃபிகேஷன், இந்த ஜீப்பெல்லாம் மாடிஃபை பண்ணுவோம். நான் அப்போவே பொள்ளாச்சியில் போய் அந்த ஜீப்பெல்லாம் மாடிஃபை பண்ணி கஸ்டமைஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு ஆன்டிக் பீஸ் எடுத்து அதை ரீமாடிஃபை, அதாவது ரெஸ்டோரேஷன் பண்ணி ஓட்டிகிட்டு இருப்போம். அதே மாதிரி அப்பா வந்து ஒரு ஆட்டோமொபைல் இன்ஜினியர். ஸோ எங்கள் வீட்டில் பைக் ஒர்க் ஷாப்புங்கிறது கூடவே இருந்தது. அது என்னமோ தெரியல, அது மேலே இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் ஜாஸ்தி இருந்தங்காட்டி ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் ஏஜுக்கு அப்புறம் நான் என்ன ஃபீல் பண்ணேன்னா, நம்ம பிடிச்ச விஷயத்த செஞ்சால் நல்லா we can definitely do with more involvementங்கிற ஒரு தாட் ப்ராசஸ் வந்தங்காட்டி I've taken up my career with General Motors dealership as my trainee sales consultant. So I started to know about what is automotive. So எனக்கு அந்த பேஷன் வந்து இன்னும் டீட்டெயிலாக டெக்னிக்கல் ஆஸ்பெக்டில் தெரிஞ்சு முடிஞ்சுது. ஸோ அந்த இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் வந்து என்னோட சீனியர்ஸ், கலீக்ஸ், இவங்க எல்லாமே எனக்கு ஒரு மோட்டிவேஷன் ஃபேக்டர் இருந்தாங்க. நிறைய எனக்கு கற்றுக் கொடுத்தாங்க. அண்ட் ஐ ஷுட் டெஃபினெட்லி தேங்க் ஃபினான்ஸ் கண்ட்ரோலர் சந்திரசேகர்னு சொல்லிட்டு. அவங்க தான் என்னை வந்து எப்பவும் ஒரு புஷ் இருந்துகிட்டே இருக்கும். Arun, you need to go to great heights. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி மென்டர்ஸ் நிறைய பேர் என் லைஃப்பில் இருக்காங்க. என்னோட ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸாக இருக்கலாம், நான் ஸ்கூலில் படிச்சிருந்த ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், காலேஜ் படிக்கும்போது ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், நிறையவே மென்டர்ஸ் இருக்காங்க என் லைஃப்பில். அப்புறம் சப்சிக்வெண்ட்டாக தென் ஐ காட் அன் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி டு கோ டு மிடில் ஈஸ்ட். அப்போது சவுத் பவன் ஆட்டோமோட்டிவ் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ஆட்டோமோட்டிவ் கம்பெனி, தே ஆர் தி டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட்டர்ஸ் ஃபார் வேரியஸ் ஆட்டோமொபைல் பிராண்ட்ஸ் இன் சுல்தானேட் ஆஃப் ஒமான். ஸோ அங்கே வந்து ஐ ஜாயின்ட் எஸ் அ சேல்ஸ் எக்ஸிக்யூட்டிவ் இன் கியா மோட்டர்ஸ். So 8 years journey, or very rich experience. My entire family was enjoying Sultanate of Oman. I feel it is a second home. ஒரு ஸ்டேஜுக்கு அப்புறம் சில்ட்ரன்ஸ் எல்லாம் பெருசாகிட்டாங்க. ஸோ ஐ ஃபெல்ட் எஜுகேஷன் இஸ் வெரி வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். அதில் வந்து இந்தியாவில் வந்து நம்ம கண்ட்ரியில் கொடுக்கும்போது நம்ம தாய்மொழியில் சொல்லிக் கொடுக்க முடியும். அது இல்லாமல் நம்ம ஊரில் இருக்கும்போது உறவுகள் தேவைப்படுதுங்கிற ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயமா படிச்சு ஐ ஹேவ் டு டூ சம்திங் இன் மை ஹோம் டவுன் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு தாட் ப்ராசஸில் தென் ஐ கேம் பேக். I met Mr. C.R. Ramanathan. He's a very nice gentleman. Our very aspiring leader, the owner of this company, Champion Motor Private Limited. We are the dealers for Audi and Harley Davidson business. So, and our enna portha varaikum it is purely even empowerment. So, empowering people is something I've learned from him. Our enna sonarna and the ownership nammata kuduthruvar. This is your company. You run in the way which you want. And obviously everyone are looking, business is all about profits. and with ethical profits. That is very, very important. So, in order thinking synchronize ஆனங்காட்டி, then I started working in 2012. Last 8 years, I think April 27th was our inauguration. So, I'm happy to be part of this organization. I'm enjoying a lot. This is like a family for us. In 2015, we started the Harley Davidson. Even that is around 140 members are their employees. So, that's a nice family. So now we are 140 plus employees in this group. This is my career at school and studies. If we like my personal life, I have a wonderful wife and I have 3 children. This is my family, and if you talk about my personal interests, I love cooking. Cooking is like a hobby. Like I love cooking, and I play golf. Golf is my passion. Like I'm not a pro or something. Like I'm an amateur. Like it's like a yoga. Like when you are more stressed, so go and play for a par 3 or a par 4 game. Like it gives you the golf is a game like you can play alone. You can compete yourself. Of course, everyone loves cricket. Like
it's like
as usual, like Indian sport. So it is in our blood. So I used to play cricket a lot, and this is about and. The other things are like I do customization. Still, I have own a 1958 Willys, which is customized fully. Once in a while, I try to go for an off-roading. That's it. My small short brief about my person. And I can talk about Haas. Like so many stories in my life.
Okay.
Yes, that's it.
So, guys, most importantly, like he said in the earlier stages, please do what you love rather than loving what you do. But if you do both of them together, you can reach great heights. So, as you're the CEO of a luxurious brand, I would like to know what is the term luxurious according to you?
Okay. So, what is luxury? Luxury is nothing else. It is giving an exclusive experience for people. Luxury is all about exceeding the expectations of customers. That is called delight factor. Like, நார்மலா ஒரு விஷயம் கிடைக்கிறத விட சம்திங் எக்ஸ்ட்ராடினரியா, அதாவது அதை மீறி கிடைக்கிறதுக்கு பேரு லக்ஸரின்னு சொல்லலாம். சம்திங் மோர் கால் இன்னைக்கு காமன் டேர்ம்ல சொல்லணும்னா லக்ஸரி இஸ் எக்ஸ்பென்சிவ்னு கூட சொல்லலாம். உதாரணத்துக்கு வந்து லூயி விட்டான் பேக். லூயி விட்டான் இஸ் லைக் a bag which costs 1.5 lakhs to 80 lakhs. It goes on. So what customer gets there? It gets a luxury. It gets a branding for them. So the stuff they are going to keep in the bag doesn't matter. Like what the stuff you go to do, what they carry themselves. My terminology, luxury is all about experience. Like you get an exclusive attention, you get an exclusive experience in something like. So மனுஷனுக்கு இதெல்லாம் தேவையான்னு கேட்டா it depends on an individual. இப்போ என்ன மாதிரி Audi மாதிரி products எல்லாமே, yes we do call this as luxury. Luxury is expensive, but for that what customer gets is like the kind of safety, the kind of satisfaction. அது ஒரு கம்ப்ளீட்னஸ். நான் இதுக்குள்ள போகும்போது I'm completely safe. The kind of quarantine sanitizing aspect the Audi had taught us this time is amazing. Like we have a ozone machine which has to be done. The entire car has to be ozonized and give the customer. So இதுதான் லக்ஸரின்னு சொல்ல வருது. சானிடைசர் அடிச்சு க்ளீன் பண்ணி ஒரு additional protection or extra something that we do for a customer experience is called luxury. Why it is moving is like once people get used to that experience and they want to exceed the experience.
Yes.
So that's how it's like a customer buys an Audi, the next people will think of going to a Bentley or a Lamborghini kind of. Yes. Like people moves on. That is because he already experienced this luxury. So now we want to move on the other experiences. So my terminology is luxury is all about your experiences.
Okay. Guys, we have learned what luxury is from Arun sir. For a person who has everything, especially money, one of the most luxurious thing that he can get is cars. And cars shows to yourself and others how luxurious your life is. So, sir, through this journey, there are some times that you go through your difficulties, and I would like to know how you bring upon your ideas into the people that you work with.
Okay. So when what are the challenges when difficult times? What do you try to motivate the people around me?
Yes.
So purely one thing we need to understand is empathy. Like when you start working on empathy, you can really understand their problems. So first of all, as a leader, as a person that they trust you as a leader, so you need to think only in one aspect called empathy. So once you start thinking in their perspective, you can really understand the problems. So the next important thing is you have to identify the problems and try to give them a solution or make them understand how to get the problem solved. Think in their perspective, like what that particular person had. Like maybe it could be a family problem, a personal problem, or he would have got some kind of a financial issues or either any problem could have happened. So if you could help them in that to get him recovered from that particular situations, I think these people can understand. Yes, my colleagues definitely understand this kind of situations. They come out of this kind of bad times and now get out of it. Say example like last 45 days, 50 days of the COVID situation, like people doesn't know what to do sitting at home. So we created an online platform like Zoom kind of thing. So initially we started with interacting about announcements, like what are the announcements currently happening. First we want to know about the whereabouts, how the families are. Then subsequently move into give kind of an information what the brand says and what is happening. Then after a certain part of time, the content got diluted. We don't know what to talk to people, and the thought process goes on, and brainstorming sessions happen. Suddenly, the team came with an idea, saying that, "Sir, why can't we now start engaging people?" So then we started talking to each other, sharing their experiences. So one day fully went about sharing people's experiences, like what was their plus. So what one best thing they learned in this period. So in this how we started. Then finally there were plenty of sessions in the particular Zoom meetings. End of that 45th day, we have done a debate show in that. We have done a selfie contest in that. So and we have got a comedy night for the employees. So we made people get engaged. So all those times, like people were associated with each other. So very rarely the inter-department get engagement time. Like once in a while we meet all of us, like on the annual day celebration. Post that we will not get time to meet. So this Zoom meeting helped us to, this COVID time helped us to connect each other. Now each one of them know better their experiences and who they are, what kind of job they do. So ultimately in this 45 days there was a strong bonding, a strong association between employees. So which helped other people's talents also to come out. They were good singers in this thing, they're good tanglers. So the people are craft people. So they all shown their talents. And also we were conducting some kind of a training programs inside on the subject, on the businesses. So putting all together, we were able to connect each other. So this is a kind of an I do call this as an empathy. So the thought process behind this an empathy, thinking their perspective. So people sitting at home, no one does any initiation. Then the problem arises. So think about 45 days no contact. What these people will come and do here? They don't know what they have to do. So whenever problem arises, we should talk in their language, think in their aspects. So it will be easy for a management or a leader or a CEO or an MD to get the problem solved and keep the momentum going on.
Okay.
Yes,
sir. So guys, you have learned that it's very important to be empathetic to your employees, and rather than treating them as employees, it's best if you think of them as your family, your friends, and the people that you're ready to do anything for. And you can see that Sir has found out talents within his circle, and he didn't know that for so long. Obviously, when you take a group of colleagues, it's easy to understand that there's at least one or two people that are less experienced or less knowledgeable than the other. In those scenarios, what do you do to equalate the priorities and their participations?
Very good. It's a beautiful question. Like every now and then, because of the situations, market conditions, their thought processes, there could be certain performance, non-performance in every industry, every company, or there will be one season they could be a good, excellent performing situation, and suddenly they could see a drop off on their performances. So the best way to do is allocate mentorship. Or normally allocate is a person from a sales, we allocate them as a mentor for a service person. So this mentor will not talk about anything on the performances. So they will try to understand these people and they try to coach them and they try to motivate them and how to come out of this particular situation. So the mentoring process maximum tenure it starts from 10 days to 6 months. There are people who really now we want to support. We have extended up to 6 months for our mentoring process. So that particular mentor will be traveling with that employee almost for 6 months to bring them on their expertise. So it's a very easy, constructive way for any organization. You can depute a mentor for coach them or motivate them, and so this is the easiest way for motivating the non-performers, or I don't call as a non-performers. Maybe that particular situation they were not able to show their potential.
So some problems in
Yeah.
their personal life or anything.
I think no employee, the person who can travel for a long time, no employee will intentionally do that I should not perform or something. So
Yes.
it could be some reasons, so we have to identify the reasons. It can be easily solvable. I'm 100% confident a non-performing employee can be coached in a better way.
So till now we have been speaking about you, your organization, or the employer. I want to talk about the key important people for running of a business, the customers. Earlier you said you sanitize the whole vehicle before delivering the vehicle to a customer and make sure that they feel safe when they are in your vehicle. I would want to know how you solve a problem that a customer faces in your organization or through any process.
Yeah, absolutely right. So any organization or any businesses, a strong CRM is very important. Right? The CRM process is to start with once the lead is generated until to retain that customers for life. So I do call retain customers for life. So then this is a flow. When there is something discomfort or a customer have a grievances or something, like we have a CRM team. How the CRM team works is, so example, we are closely monitoring with the people. Example, we have if you see in our facility, we have a 10 card placed at anywhere, even in our social media websites. From the particular consultant to my personal number is also being given there. So even on the table, like a coffee table, a customer can view. And if you want to share the experiences or grievances, they can definitely call us on any time or write an email. So the point of giving is that the accessibility for the customers to reach out for their concerns. So we are very open to customers. So because only then when the feedback is there, we can correct our processes and systems. So then only we can give a best experience. Because why we call luxury is all about experience. So when the problem is there, we can't give customer experiences. So what we give is we ensure that customers is being given enough opportunity to share their feedbacks and suggestions. Communication is the biggest challenge with people. Most problem happens in communication. So once you communicate strongly with the customer or receive the communication properly, your 90% of problem is solved. The remaining 10% is the concern. So the majority problem is your communication. Because the customer is getting irritated when he is annoyed. When he is getting annoyed is when the communication doesn't reach his time, either from this side or the other side. So once that you correct yourself, because that is under our control. So the communication, your employees, between the certain departments is under our control. So that is the biggest challenge. So we give more emphasis on how we communicate within the team. Any single customer complaint or a query, even query, I'm talking about a small query, it will be on the WhatsApp. There will be a level of people are there, so grades that you know, like M1, M2 manager, senior manager, general manager. So the next level or whomever available, never mind is a GM, he has to respond, he has to report. Most cases even I respond to the particular person. I reach out to the service advisor and say, did you speak to the customer? What happened? Have you received? Have the vehicle has been sent? Have you given the ask? Have the vehicle got registered? What happened to this? So it is very easy tool, very simple basic tool. Only thing is we all should have an intention that it has to be addressed at the earliest.
Yes.
So communication and addressing to the customer needs on time. So communication is always related to the time. So if you can engage this two, very easily you can manage. So I think this is the best way to handle the customer satisfaction.
Yes. So we have got a huge insight on how he and his people in his department are handling the customers at every stages. No matter what the customer response is or no matter what the complaint is, they make sure they reach back to the customer. So since building cars and then supplying cars and make sure that the customer gets the services that he requires for the car after and before purchasing the car, there would be need of resources, anything, service or any resources that required to run the business. How would you make sure the resources are used optimally and like in a right efficient way?
So obviously we have a productivity and efficiency tracker between each, even for your services as well as the sales consultant. So even for our inquiry conversion, so it is an entire process. So what we does is we have a monthly team meetings. So what we do is each department will say example May, June is going to come. My team is already preparing the calendar for June, July. What is the kind of forecast that it can happen? What are the parts should be available? What are the manpower to be allocated? What are the appointments are expected? So there is a wonderful system in place in our company and the facility which Audi has. Say example, in an emergency, a customer wants an urgent delivery, so we can lift the parts by air. So normally not by truck. So if flights are getting stuck during COVID time, so we are trying to see how we can help the customers. We also buy without any thing is we exchange parts between the dealers. So between Coimbatore and Madurai, we try to mobilize our parts to make the customer happy. So this gives the lead time to be reduced where customer can be definitely satisfied. And of course, we have a productivity tool like our HR does the MPOs event like based on their productivity efficiency. They give rankings. So based on the rankings, we publish the scores and we ask their feedback. So its only thing is business by objective, like management of business by objective. We can take the 5 key important parameters as a key important index. So with that, you can map up and say that these are the points which is required for the companies to establish the maximum productivity and efficiency.
So since we have learned about how employees are measured and how they are evaluated monthly on their performance and how every sector is calculated and then evaluated, it's time on asking him on his hopes for the next year, his plans and executions for the next year.
So, according to me, as a CEO, as a business person, what I would plan is current situation. We would not looking for a long-term plan. So, post-COVID situation. So, the best way to do is a short-term plan. Short-term plan executions are much more easier. And one thing is, in this situation, we have to stay positive. Every downfall will have a rise. So my best suggestion is to looking forward on a short-term goal. Number one, utilize your maximum resources available within you, not looking for new resources. Try to maximize your resources within your hand. Maybe you can give dual role the efficiency can be increased or give additional roles and responsibility for the people. The next important fact is start looking on a short-term goals, because instead of having 1 year goal, my objective is to keep on next quarter, like what is my objective, how we can move forward. I think with this strategy, I think it is the best way to approach the current situation. So currently, my individual thoughts is that I'm not going to look for 1 year goal. I'm currently looking on the situation like baby steps. Like I'm going to take baby steps to achieve this particular goal. Post, not immediately. Maybe what is your future goal and ambition is? I want to create more entrepreneurs in the society. I want to be a coach for them, or I want to be a business consultant. I'm going to equip myself. I'm in the learning process of them. I hope you can give, you can become a coach for business people or entrepreneur or an investor. So that is my saying in this actually.
So I think it's time we talk about the current crisis that's happening right now. COVID-19. What do you think would happen after this COVID-19 settles its ranks down and slowly reduces? Right now it's at peak. When it comes down, what do you think the changes in the market, changes in our lifestyle, what do you think would have changed?
So it's a wonderful question. I like this question a lot because this is what something running in every people's mind. Right? What is going to happen? I really appreciate for this question, Akshay. I'll tell you just what it is like. This is like a catapult effect. Like catapult effect is like you pull something and leave it, like it is going to bounce back. So my thought process also, I don't know, it's my personal view. My thought process also, like people will definitely would be interested to grow more. I think we are energy with a lot 40, 45, 50 days with more energy are restored or refrained. I mean they are. I think it is unlearned. I do this use this word called unlearn. Most of the people in this world, as a human, we unlearn many things in this time, and our minds are so fresh. I think people want to take. I can see so many webinars happening in the Zoom platform. So this is a live example. People minds are become fresh now. So now all this kind of an expertise and this kind of a pause is going to give a catapult effect. I think I'm looking at positive, very positive, that this is going to grow steep high, and this world is going to come up in a beautiful way where everyone is going to be aspired.
What do you think the next decade would be like to this world? Or let's not go to broad, we'll take it as India.
So I would think it is going to be more digitalized. I think it's more young blood in people. I think Eva, as you as a person is here, what more example I can get? So you are going to give for the society with wonderful experiences to people. Like there are so many people going to watch your YouTube channel, and they are going to be getting inspired with more people. Even I would be looking forward to your channel, subscribing immediately as ASAP, because you're going to give me a wonderful platform for me to learn. I think today this digitalization is something going to make a revolution in India. I think the kind of many companies like your Swiggy or Uber or your Oyo or see Audi is going to become online sales. Like today you can book your car and sit at home, the car is getting delivered at home. So previously it was called as an experience. Now we are experiences even on online platforms. So even Audi brand is ready for giving an experience for customers online. So I think my positivity is like next 10 years digitalization is going to be the wonderful tool for us. It is going to influence your communication industry, people, convenience factors. India is already set for the digitalization platform. So that is what the vision of India. I think I go by with the vision of India. That this is going to be the wonderful tool for all of us to focus, and that is going to rule our country.
So since this COVID-19, we can say that almost everyone is gonna spend most of the time through webinars, and I'm telling you, for me, I have spent like every day at least I spend in one webinar, and I'm learning a lot of things. And automobile industry is even if this COVID-19 wasn't there or not, we had one major issue on automobile industry, which is electric vehicle, from combustion vehicle to electric vehicle. So what are your thoughts on electric vehicles?
So our this globally every person's view is on thinking of environment. So of course Audi is all the way, like we are thinking of the e-mobility. Our vision is to emission-free mobility. So already as a brand is going on. So already manufacturers have started their plans. The government has also started their plans. I think this stage is very nascent stage. I think it keeps going. I think behind the scenes, definitely the plans are going on. My suggestion is like my feedback is like future is going to be the e-mobility. I think according to my perspective.
Talking about e-mobility, it's the future of automobile industry, and in this COVID-19, almost everyone in this world has realized how beautiful nature has become. And most importantly, be happy and be safe. Thank you.